Hey guys, I just added some graduation and senior shirt designs to my blog, but because everyone has different school colors and different graduation years, I wanted to put together this video to show you how you can edit each of the designs right in Cricut Design Space. If you go to the video description for this video, there are timestamps, so you can click on the timestamps if you're looking for a particular design, and that's going to take you to that part of the video so you don't have to watch the whole thing. But if you're just stumbling across this video and you don't have the shirt designs yet, there is a link in the video description where you're going to be able to grab all of these SVG designs for free. So first I'm starting with this senior 2023 design that kind of has like these different little shadows behind it. So this is the only design that you are not going to be able to modify the year, but if this is a different year, I am going to be updating this on my blog. So the new version should be on my blog or it's coming soon. So you can still click that link in the video description to get that new version. So when you upload this, the first thing that you want to do is go ahead and ungroup the layers. And this little circle right here is meant where you can go ahead and add like your school initials to this. So I'm going to show you how to do that. You're just going to take your text tool right here and go ahead and type in your school initials, or if you want to put something else in there, that's fine too. And let's see, I'm going to find a good font for this. I'm just going to the Cricut fonts. I think I'm just going to go with the Cricut Sans. It's a very basic font that's going to be good for this. Let's see, let's try just typing that in. Okay, how about we'll go with Arial since that one's not pulling up easily. I just want a very basic font for this. We'll go to my system. It seems to search the system ones better. Okay, here we go. And you can use any font that you want for this. I just want something kind of bold. I think that's going to look good, so I'm going to change this to bold right here. And now I'm just going to resize this so it fits within the circle, and I'm going to take off the proportions because I'm going to kind of resize the proportions. So when you're resizing, it's important that you drag at the corners. You're not going to be able to resize if you drag at any of these. It's just going to change the size of your box. So make sure that you drag the corners and go ahead and resize this until you kind of like the size of it within that circle. And once you have the size you want, go ahead and select both that circle and your text together and go right up here to align and click center. And that's going to perfectly center that. And now I'm just going to go right here to combine, and we're just going to subtract that from the front. Okay, so now that's going to cut that right out of there. And so you'll kind of have where your initials show up by the shirt design. Okay, so this design is ready to go. However, when you click to make it, you're going to notice that this is not in the correct place. So I'm going to show you how to put that in the correct place if you want to cut it with it in the correct place. So you're going to want to click on that blue circle. We can just click that whole group right there, and also click on the blue text. And you can click multiple layers together just by holding down Shift while you select them. And we're going to attach those together. So now when we go to make it, everything should cut out exactly as you want it for that blue layer. And I'm not going to show you how to actually heat press the shirt, but I am going to show you the best way to assemble this shirt. So to make this the easiest, I do recommend going ahead and starting right here by first adding this yellow layer, or you can change this to a different color, of course. And then after that, you're going to want to add this second layer, which is purple, and you're going to line it up just like this. So you can open up Cricut Design Space and kind of look at these layers right here to see how to line it up. Because with these shadows, it is a little bit confusing. These are going to cut out in the exact spot they need to be, so you don't have to worry about placing each individual piece there. You just need to make sure that you align the whole sheet up. And then you'll go ahead and add this layer on top. So you're going to get this neat kind of shadow effect. So you just need to make sure to line it up correctly, but it's pretty easy to put together. It just takes 3 different presses. And when you do press those in between Make sure that you put like a parchment sheet in between if you already have vinyl down before you press the next layer. If you press it right on top of vinyl that doesn't have any cover, it's most likely going to melt on top of your heat press. So always make sure to put down like a parchment paper or some type of barrier in between. Okay, so we're done with this design. All right, so the next design that I'm going to show you how to modify is the seniors right here. And this is a really fun shirt design if you want to do something with a group of friends. And again, whenever you bring something into Cricut Design Space, before you can modify it, you need to go ahead and ungroup the layers. They automatically get grouped together when you import it. So go ahead and always remember to ungroup your layers. Now, if you wanted to make this shirt just for you, you can get rid of, oh, that's the wrong S. You can get rid of this S right here. You can just hide it or delete it. And if you feel the need to kind of turn it a little bit, oh, we're going to select all of those together. And I'm just going to kind of rotate it a little if you want it straight, but I'm actually going to undo that because I want to keep it with the S. And so right now, each of these letters are going to cut individually in random places because they're on separate layers. I kept it that way so you can modify to take off the S, or if you want to change the colors. But if you want all of this to cut together, make sure you select all of those layers and attach them together. But another fun thing to do with this one is also to add like your school initials down here. And again, when you resize, always use those side arrows, or like the corner one, sorry, not the size, the side, the corner. And so it's kind of fun to kind of put your school initials right down in here. And it could also be fun to maybe change the color of these. So you can, right here, I'm going to ungroup these. So just click right here. That way I can make these my school colors. We've got gold and we've got green. So you can kind of add some of your school colors in this way. Or you could put your year here. You can also alternate the colors of all of these since they're on different layers. It would be really easy to do that as well. So you can just go through and keep alternating. You can always leave it all one color and use like your school color shirts. So if these were your school colors, you could do just like a black for everything, and some people could have a gold shirt, some people could have a green. So there's a lot that you can do with all of these designs. So that's kind of why I created this video, is just to kind of help you out, to show you how you can modify them and different ideas for them. So this is kind of fun with all the different colors like this. And if you notice when I go to make it, again, these are all in random places. So if you want it to cut the way it looks on the screen, then you need to make sure that you select all of the green layers together. And I'm just holding down Shift while I select these, and you want to attach those. And then you're going to repeat the same thing for the yellow layers. So now when you go to cut these, everything is in place and you can easily layer your shirt design with these two colors. Okay, so that's just some fun things you can do with this shirt. So we'll go ahead and move on. So the next shirt design is going to be this proud mom of a graduate, and I've also included the dad, but I want to show you how to modify this in case you want to make it say sister, grandma, mom, papa, whatever you want it to say. So again, let's go ahead and ungroup these. I'm just going to delete one of these. We only need one to work with. And these are all grouped together as well. So let's ungroup these so that we can work with this right here. So I'm going to add, we're going to do sister. And so I'm going to go ahead and change the text. And if you can use any text you want because you're going to remove mom. But if you want to use the text that I'm using, you'll find that text link in the blog post if you want to find the direct text link, but it is called Old Sport College, and right here I'm using the one that has the outlines. But there's a link to this in the post where you're going to download this file. Okay, so right here, I'm just going to kind of resize this, and I'm going to take off the proportions so I can drag it as I want to. And once you kind of like the look of it, then you can get rid of mom underneath. Well, get rid of mom underneath. And I'm going to go over here to my color sync. And I want to make this that same gold color, so I'm just dragging it down there. And now we can select all of our layers, and we're just going to go to align and center those horizontally. So now I can make this shirt say anything that I want to say just with those few steps. And again, don't forget, if you want all of these black layers to cut exactly where they're at, make sure that you attach those together. Right now I'm in color sync, so I don't have that option. I need to go back to my layers. So make sure you select all of those and attach those together. And again, if you want these to cut exactly where they are, you can attach those together. But that might waste a lot of vinyl throughout all of here, so you may want to keep it. And I'm going to go ahead and send this to the back. When you layer these, you do want to put the black on first because you want that gold to lay on top of the black. So first you'll layer down the black and then you'll add your gold pieces. Okay, so that's how you modify this one. So we'll go ahead and move on. Okay, so this next one is the senior one where you have the year in between the letters. And so this one's going to be pretty easy to modify for any year as well. So we're going to start off and we're going to ungroup those. And you're going to notice that that 23 is on a different layer. So we're just going to delete those. And if you need to put a different year than 20 right here as well, you can delete that as well. But for a while, we're going to be in the 20s. And so I'm just going to add, so if we want to make this 2024, and the font that I'm using here is the other old college one. It's the one that doesn't have the outlines. And again, you'll find a link to that font. It's going to be in the blog post where you download this design. So I'm just going to move my arrow on the outside of these right here so I get those rotation things. And while I hold down shift, that way it goes in perfect increments, I'm just going to rotate it like this. And I'm just going to line this up right over that other two. And I'm going to turn off my proportions here. And again, when you resize, make sure you use the corners and not the sides. And I'm going to drag this so that the two lines up with the other two so they're about the same size. And we can make that a little smaller. And then I'm just going to slide this up. Again, move it a little more this way. And now I'm just going to go to my color sync so that I can change this to be the same color as that green. And so that's all there is to changing the year. It's pretty easy to change. I actually see that this 24 looks a little bit bigger that way, so I just made a little bit smaller. And you can even zoom in. To help you out with that. Okay, so I like the way that looks, so I'm good with this. And again, always make sure to attach any layers that you want to cut exactly as you see them. So if you want this 2-0 to go ahead and cut with the top half of the senior, go ahead and attach those, and then do the same thing with the green layers. The hat is on a separate layer, so you can change the color of that if you want, but if you want to keep it that green and have everything cut together, go ahead and attach those. So then when you go to make it, you have everything exactly where it lines up, so you don't have to worry about piecing it yourself. If you want to add the hat on later so that you don't use up all this wasted vinyl right here, then don't attach the hat and you can easily place that on yourself. Okay. So now that you know how to change that year, we're going to keep moving on. Alright, so now we have this senior mom shirt design. And so again, always start off by ungrouping these. And this one can be fun to add the year down here. And you can use any font, any color for that. A lot of people want to know what font this one is. This one actually does not have a font for the year, so you won't be able to use the same font for the year. So just find a font that you like to go with that one. And then for the heart, I do have all three of these as separate pieces, so you can modify them however you want. So it can be fun like to change them to your school colors. And that looks really cute. You can also change this to kind of blend in with it. And if you do that, if you go ahead and change those to the same colors, you do want to make sure that you select both of these and you want to unite those. That way the Cricut cuts around each piece, otherwise it's going to cut right through it and you're going to have to piece it together. So if you make those the same colors, then make sure to unite it. If you decide you like it black, that's fine. I'm just going to undo this. If you decide you like the school colors down there and this black, that's fine. And go ahead and select all of these black layers right here. And I'm going to select senior as well. I might change the senior. And I'm going to attach those so they cut together. And I think for the senior, I want to use that gold color as, oops, I clicked the wrong layer. For the senior, I want to make it that gold color as well. So these are so easy to customize, to make however you want to make them. And so now that we have all of those attached, you're going to see that it's going to cut to make it so easy for you to layer. You can just paste the senior right on top. Now if you want these to be in the same spot with senior so it's even easier to layer, then again, go back and make sure you attach those. So anytime that you're noticing on your Make It screen that things are not where they're supposed to be, it's because they're not attached. So that's all you need to do is just go back and attach those. So now this makes it even easier for you to cut and assemble. You're going to want to lay that black layer down. Make sure to put it low enough that you have room to add the senior on top. And then you're just going to layer this yellow layer and then you can layer that green layer on top. So they're super easy to assemble, super easy to customize. Alright, and this last one is really easy. This is just a simple senior shirt design. But again, this one can be really fun to add your year to it. So I left the year off for that reason. I don't think I want this font. I'm just going to kind of search and find a cute font that might look good for her. And I'm going to undo that so I can resize this how I kind of want it. And so you can easily add your year right here. This is still a little larger than I want it. Okay, it needs to, for some reason I'm trying to resize it, but it keeps unselecting. There we go. So you just kind of drag in those corners right there. And if you want to keep the proportions, then keep that locked. And again, the hat's on a different layer, so you can really just have fun with these, make these whatever colors you want them to be. Grab your school colors and mix them up however you want. And in case you didn't watch the other videos, when you go to make this, you're going to notice that everything cuts randomly. So if you want that hat in the 2003 to cut exactly where you need to press it down on your shirt, I need to ungroup those real quick. Then we need to go ahead and make sure that we attach it with that yellow layer right here. That way when you go to make it, that's going to press exactly where you want it, and you can just put the senior going across right through it afterwards. And you guys, when you are pressing multiple colors down, in between, like after you've got one color down, you do need a barrier. You don't never want to put your heat press on top of vinyl. It is going to melt onto your heat press. So make sure you put like parchment paper or some kind of barrier protective layer in between. And I do have a whole post on how to use I do have a whole post on using heat transfer vinyl and how to layer it for doing shirts. So I'm going to leave the link to that in the description. That way if you need any help when you assemble these shirts, you can just go to that post right there and it's going to show you exactly what to do. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this was helpful and you'll be able to customize these designs however you're going to need them. Feel free to share these with me. I would love to see kind of the variations you guys do with these. So if you share these on social media, make sure to tag me in them and I'd love to share them as well. But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.